Hello, friends.
Hello,
Welcome,
Amrita.
Jijil.
Hello.
So today I'm back with a very challenging uh, problem-solving question, GMAT question. So let's see how it goes. So in this particular question, you're given that there is a function hn. Okay, and Jijil, how is this hn defined as?
It says product of even numbers from 2 to n. So it will be 2, 4, 2 multiplied by 4 multiplied by all the way up to whatever is n.
Right, 6 into 8, right,
Right.
into up to n. So this is how Hn is defined, right? It is a product of every positive even integer from 2 to n. Okay, so it says that if p is the smallest factor of h100 plus 1, so how would h100 look like? First of all, let us see that. Okay, then we'll come to the question. So how would h100 look like?
All the way
It
up
will
to 100. 2 multiplied by
exactly. So
4.
your n is 100 here, right? So you're going to end at 100. 100. So 2 into 4 into 6 into 8,
Dot,
it
dot,
is
dot, up
going
to 100. Yes, that's correct.
great, right? So this is how your H100 will look like. Now, when I say H100 plus 1, what kind of number am I actually referring to?
It's a big number. I think it's massive. It's slightly above the number above, Amrita.
So can I say it's the next number, the number next to H of 100?
That's correct.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the number after h of 100, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you add 1 to some number, you get the number after that, isn't it?
Right.
So let's say after number, after number of h of 100, the very next number,
Right.
right? Like the
Yes.
next number of 3 is 4. So
Yeah.
something like that. Okay, so we don't really have to calculate it. So now let's go back to the question and see what it says or what is asked. It says that if p is the smallest prime factor of h of 100 plus 1. Okay, so we are talking about the smallest prime factor of h of 100 plus 1. We are not talking about h of 100. We are talking about smallest prime factor of the number next to it, right? Smallest prime factor, then P is. So you have to kind of, the choices are not exact. That's between 2 and 20, 10 to 20. So you kind of have to evaluate the uh, the smallest prime factor of the number next to h of 100. Okay. So since it is quite a big number, we can, let's take a relatively or comparatively smaller number. Okay. Let me take h of 10 instead of h of 100. Okay, I'm just giving you an example so that you will have an idea like how to go with it. So h of 100 will look like Jijil
2 multiplied by 4 multiplied by all
plus
the way
6,
to um,
10,
10.
right? So, or guys, can I like simplify it? So these are all even numbers. So so 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So I'm going to take out 2 from each of them. 2 to the power 5. 1, 1, 2 have taken out. So in now I will be left with here because already it counted. So 1 is left. Already counted. 2 is
It's
left.
like 5 factorial, is it?
Exactly. So it will be like 5 factorial, right? But I don't want to write it as 5 factorial. Let this be like this. Okay. So what do you think? What will h of 10 plus 1, the next number will look like? Okay. It will look like the same, but it will have just plus 1 added, right? So it will look more like this, plus 1, right?
Yeah.
So now, since, can you tell me that if 2 is, let's talk about prime factors. So if 2 is the factor of h of 10, do you think it is going to be a factor of the next number?
Next number will be odd number, right?
Exactly. After an even, you get an odd number. So definitely, if 2 is even, 3 is never going to be an even number, right? So no, 2 is not going to be a factor of this number. Now, how about 3? 3 is the factor of this number. Will this next
How do
number?
you know 3 is factor of h of 100, Amrita?
I'm talking about h of 10
Oh,
and we
sorry,
just did,
h of
right?
10. Yeah, how can we know 3 is a factor? Or there is a 3
Yeah, I have written here
oh,
2
yeah.
raised to 5 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all
Okay.
prime factors, right?
Right.
So 3 is the factor of this. So do you think the 3 is going to be the factor of the very next number?
Thinking.
See, if 21 is the multiple of 3, 3 is a factor of 21. Do you think 3 will be a factor of 22 as well?
No.
It doesn't
It
happen,
has to
right?
wait
You
for
need to
3
add
more
to 3
numbers.
more.
Exactly.
You need to add to 3 more to that number to get the next multiple of 3, right?
Correct. Correct.
Similarly, 5. Okay, now we know that 5 is a prime factor of h of 10. Is 5 the prime factor of this number?
No.
Again, the same logic, the very next number. Not possible, right?
Correct.
So all the numbers that are prime factors of h of 10 cannot be the prime factor of the very next number. This is what we conclude from here. Are you with me on this?
I understood this.
Right? So now let's go to then h of 100 and h of 100 plus 1. Okay? So h of 100 and then h of 100 plus 1. Guys, do you think that 2 is, we know that 2 is going to be the factor.
2 is a factor.
Clearly?
We have checked it. It's
So
not.
then, yeah, so next number is not going to be. Similarly, 3, 5, we already checked. The very next number, it's not going to be, right?
Correct.
Now, the next prime factor is 7.
Right.
Is 7 a factor of h of 100?
Yes, there
It is because we are
14 will
going
be
to have
there.
14 there. Exactly, they're going to be 14 there, right?
Yes.
So clearly it is a factor. For that reason, it is not going to be the factor of the next number. Now the next prime factor is 11, right? Now, is this 11 a factor?
22 is
Exactly. Exactly. We are going to have 22 in H100. So for that reason, you cannot have it cannot be a factor of the next number. Then similarly, 13, we are going to have 26 here. So clearly, this cannot be, the next number cannot be a factor of 13. The same way, if you check for 17, so we are going to have 34 here. So the next number is not going to be a multiple of 17. Same way, it's for 19. Okay, now I'm going little fast now. So same way, it's for 19. It's the same way for, just a minute. Yeah, it's the same way for 23. The next number is going to be 29, right? Because we have 58. Then how about 29? And what's the next? 31. Again, we have 62 here, right? Then what's the next number there? I mean, let me come to 37. Again, 37. What is the twice of 37? This is 74, which we have here. So clearly can't be. Which is the next prime number that we have here?
41.
So 41, exactly. So 41 into 2 is 82. We have 82 here. For that reason, it cannot be a factor of the next number, right? Now, if you look at the solution here, guys, if you just, that's not the solution, the options here, guys. So you will see, just a minute. So you will see the options are like this.
Amrita,
Options A is it between 2 to 20?
It is, we have
2 to 20?
It's not because
not,
they are
right?
factors
Similarly,
of h of 100, right?
Not right. Not 10 to 20. The factor of h of 100 plus 1, it can't be 20 to 30. It can't be between 30 to 40, right? So we just saw that the factors of h of 100 is not even 41. So it has to be greater than 40, okay? So if you just look at the answer choices, you can very easily conclude that answer should be E. So sometimes you actually need to analyze the problem in order to do it. All right. So keep practicing. I'm sure you'll get there.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Amrita. Thank you.
Thank you.